What's up with it, y'all? We back there with another video. We finna get into this man discover nightmare hidden in his garage. If you're new to the channel, don't forget that like, subscribe, yeah? And don't forget to tap in with the merch. Don't forget to, sign up to the SMS. Let's keep up with the news, drop news things I got coming soon, yeah? But yeah, yo, let's get into this video. Okay. I'm really sorry for what you're about to see.
They're gonna have to call a hazmat crew.
1, 2. There's 2 here.
Yeah, 1, 2. 3 right there.
When a foul odor begins to fill a family home, residents inspect their garage, only to find a scene of unimaginable horror. The following report is based on official police records, and the footage has never been seen before until now. Please note that all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. On November 15, 2024, in Battleground, Washington, a police sergeant arrives responding to an animal cruelty report from a man named Zeus, who says he forced entry into their locked garage after his grandfather noticed a foul smell. Inside, he found several deceased dogs. He claims they belong to his cousin, 35-year-old Andre Twilliger, who left several days ago. Zeus shares with the officer a few chilling observations that offer only a glimpse into the nightmare he'll soon see for himself.
I just see the
Oh, you can smell it from out here, dude.
sitting on top of the rotting carcasses, and then sitting in like the rib cage of,
Yeah.
I don't know, like forced to eat their puppies. But I looked over and I see the grave, so he knew that they were in there just
That they were dying.
decomposing, and didn't do about it. And it looks like there's already I'd imagine that's a grave right there.
Okay, I don't know if anything is actually in there or if he was just prepping.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
An animal control officer arrives to join the sergeant in examining the garage, but first learns that not all of the dogs inside have perished.
So there are 4 alive dogs, 2 puppies right here in the front door. I brought them in last night and gave them some food and water.
Okay.
2 alive big dogs. They seem pretty friendly. They got a little aggressive when I went in there to feed them, but
So did he just leave like yesterday or something?
my grandpa said he hasn't seen them for 2 or 3 days, so that's when he asked me to go in there last night. I mean, there's graves on the side of the house, so we knew the dogs were dead and just rotting in there.
It doesn't look like anything is in the grave, but it looks like he dug in preparation for one of them dying. The grave looks empty, but since the rain has fallen, it's kind of
Actually,
corroded in there.
Horrific in there.
Yeah.
They locked me out of the garage. No one could get in there.
So how many dogs did he have that you're aware of? 4?
I only knew of 2 dogs, his 2 friendly dogs, but me and him, we don't talk really.
Okay, fair enough.
He kind of just pops in here and causes a bunch of trouble and then leaves. But there's a lot of dead dogs in there, and I don't know how many.
The sergeant and animal control officer each put on a gas mask and gloves before heading inside the garage.
Absolutely. This is honestly worse than I thought it was going to be.
That?
I don't know. Looked like something sparked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Careful. I got an extinguisher if we need one. Just let me know. I think it was that cord. It must have a short in it.
Yeah.
God have mercy.
Reports note that the garage is filled with trash and that the floor is covered in animal feces and urine. The filth and debris obscures the full scope of the horror, making it a challenge to locate and count the dead.
They're going to have to call a hazmat crew.
A detective will return later, uncovering the grim truth of exactly how many dogs lay buried in the debris. For now, the sergeant heads inside to speak with Zeus and Andre's grandfather, as well as locate the living dogs.
Texas homeowners, I want to buy your house right now, as is, no matter what condition.
Oh, yeah. See, these are new puppies. Oh. Nice. Hello, puppies. Hello.
And then the two big adult dogs are in the laundry room.
Okay. So these guys were in the crate with the dog that's dead, and
There was a cage that looked like this out there, and
That's where we found them. It was a little bigger. But it was just full of dead puppies.
I didn't get that. But I didn't see dead puppies. Did you see dead puppies?
Big dogs, not dead
I saw
puppies.
dead dogs. So what can you tell me about the dogs with Andre?
Well, he showed up here a few months ago with a couple of dogs. One of them ended up having puppies, and he'd be in and out, and I never questioned him because he was my oldest grandson.
He further explains that he was unaware the animals had expired, likely a while ago, because he hadn't been in the garage himself for months.
Dude's unemployed. He doesn't do anything at all except
Yeah,
stay
he's,
at the house.
I don't
And
know
there's a
where
bag
it's at.
full
He's
of
here.
dog food right here that he wasn't using to feed the dogs at all.
Yeah, normally he took care of them, and I never questioned it because I'd always ask him, everything okay? How's the dogs? They're all fine. And then come to find out they're not. And that's because my grandson there and his girlfriend went out to take care of him and found all this problem.
Yeah.
Because I was, what's the old adage? I had my head buried in the friggin' sand.
Not judging you.
Oh, I know. It just it bothers me because I did not see it.
Yeah.
And I'm usually pretty sharp about what goes on in my house, but trying to be a nice guy and have people stay here
Yeah.
and go for that and just come out and bite me in the ass. And I don't know where he's at. Last I heard, he was up north. I don't know whether that's true or not.
With Andre absent from the scene and unable to account for the travesty, they prepare to leave, instructing the family to leave the garage undisturbed for now. The living dogs are taken by the Humane Society for care and treatment. In their report, they note the puppy's fur was covered in soft and liquid feces, and one of the adult dogs was determined to have recently been pregnant and nursing. 4 days later, on November 19th, a detective accompanied by an officer returns for a more thorough examination of the garage. It's during this second search that they make a series of increasingly horrific discoveries, each more gruesome than the last.
Okay. I don't know a whole lot about what's going on here, besides you saying there's some dead dogs in there.
So you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, dude. I'm really sorry for what you're about to see.
It's all right, man. Been doing this job long enough. I've definitely seen some other things.
If you're able to, I prefer since you have the gloves.
Sure.
5, David 1, go for it.
It'll stay even if it's on the way.
15, 13.
Just like put this dog in a vice and try to cut it in half. Is that the kind of information you're getting?
Yeah.
You see what I'm looking at here?
Yeah.
It looks like some sort of vice, or the dog got stuck in it because it doesn't.
Dog was likely eaten.
Was there other dogs in here?
Yeah, sounds like there was.
So they probably started eating each other.
The dog closest to the garage door, described as a white and black pit bull, was found decomposing with the rearmost portion of his pelvis and back legs missing. The detective finishes putting on his protective gear before going inside to examine the rest.
Do you know any history on this guy?
Yeah, it looks like I didn't finish reading it, but in Camas, he had a similar situation happen in Camas.
Though the date is unknown, reports note that the Camas Police Department responded to a call of a deceased pit bull in a plastic tote alongside the road. Using a microchip scanner, they learned its name was Captain, and he belonged to Andre. An investigation concluded the dog had been struck by a vehicle.
You said 4 corpses and some puppies or something like that?
Yeah, so there's gonna be, I think they found one in that kennel back there. Or they mentioned one kennel. There's one behind that mattress.
Okay. 5, David 1, still go for it.
On the left here.
This one?
Yeah, on the far end of the mattress, the one behind that.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
A second dog, described as another black and white pit bull, is found beneath the workbench, lying on its side, mostly intact.
1, 2. There's 2 here.
Yeah, 1, 2,
2.
3 right there. And there's a bunch of puppies here. There's at least 3 puppies.
A third and fourth dog were located inside a metal kennel near the fridge, distinguishable from their refuse by their skeletons, which were partially exposed. Another was found near the back of the garage inside a plastic crate, its door blocked by debris. Inside was a cut open bottle with some dog food, though there was no bowl of water in sight. Their examination concludes with a devastating tally. 5 dogs have perished. Though they took note of and photographed the supposed gravesite, the report makes no mention of whether they found any dogs buried there. Outside, Zeus continues to share more insight into Andre's possible mental state.
He had nothing but free time. We just sat around doing nothing while he was gone through running in here. There's this like extension cord coming from the attic, which I imagine it leads to a camera, because he was saying that people were spying on him in the attic, so we had to put cameras up there to stop them from spying on him. So that's why I imagine the extension cord probably leads to a camera.
I'm sorry you had to deal with this and see this, man.
I'm just glad I came out here when I did, you know?
Yeah.
At least some of the dogs were saved.
Yeah.
The officer and detective head inside to speak with Andre's grandfather one more time, and before they leave, get a shocking update about Andre.
When was the last time that he was here at the house?
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
He stopped by 2 days after the initial report, so Sunday.
And then Terry was telling me that he told him to leave. He didn't tell him not to come back.
Why they didn't contact the police is unclear, and his whereabouts after he left were unknown. As for those who met their tragic end inside the garage, a letter written by a forensic veterinarian later explained that due to the state of decomposition, necropsy wouldn't have been able to reveal a definitive cause of death for the animals, attributing their causes of death to a combination of starvation, lack of nutrition, and/or dehydration, and that the dog decomposing by the overhead door was likely cannibalized by the living dogs in an attempt by them to stay alive. In her summary, she writes, "The animals, both living and deceased, suffered immeasurably," and describes their experience as akin to torture. Ultimately, the deceased dogs were taken by the Humane Society for disposal. A warrant to arrest Andre was requested for suspicion of 5 counts of animal cruelty in the first degree and 4 counts of animal cruelty in the second degree. According to a Facebook post from the city of Battleground, Washington, on March 7, 2025, 35-year-old Andre Twilliger was located and taken into custody hours after their initial post for information from the public. It's unclear what charges he faces, if any, at this time. On December 13, 2024, all 4 of the living dogs reportedly gained weight and were determined to have no medical concerns. All 4 were later adopted.
If you've been in a car accident, don't call an attorney. Use this AI app instead.
Yeah, some people don't need no dogs. Some people can't even take care of themselves, yeah. This don't make no sense. It's just like looking at a junkie. He basically look like a junkie with all this stuff in there with just dead animals in the house. Man, some people live their own life, bro. But when people live their own life, you gotta be curious about the people you deal with and whose life you gonna join, or who people you gonna attach yourself with. Cause you never know what type of lifestyle a person can be living. You know what I'm saying? People nowadays be living double lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? A double life. You'll think you know the person, and next thing you know, they're a whole different person, bro. You gotta be cautious of the people you invite in your circle, bro, I swear. Because you never know who you might come across. Go to somebody's house, they got a house full of dead rats. This dude got a house full of dead dogs that he was finna bury, bro. Alright, it's a time and place for everybody, though, boy. If you're new to the channel, hit that like, subscribe, y'all. We out.